I'm not going to do this unless you prove to me that you're changing behavior. Is that acceptable to you? Right? If he says no, what happens? Nice to meet you. I have asked people in the coaching session the following question. What have you done in the last year to change your situation? 95% of the time, what is the answer? Nothing. You've done nothing in the last year to change your situation, yet you're expecting different results. What is that the definition of? We're close to it. That's insanity. That's exactly right. Do something different. Jump up on the table and do the Irish jig. I don't care what you do, but what you're doing now is not working. Hello everyone, welcome to the Now What podcast, episode 33. My name is Glenn Sharp. I'm the president and CEO of Sharp Leadership Development. Well, I hope everybody's having a great day. It's hot in Cincinnati. It's about 86 degrees, but it's really muggy, if you know what I mean. So I hope you're staying cool where you are. I know this hot spell is going all over the country. But let's get into it. As promised, we're going to continue our series on my keynote series where you guys will see me kind of in action and keynote speaking or in the classroom with some of my clients. So this second episode is a continuation of my keynote for the Miami Valley Human Resource Association. It's the Advanced Coaching Techniques, really semi-workshop, a really keynote that I did for them. Just keep in mind, again, that this is a group full of human resource directors and HRBPs in this room. And this is a topic that is obviously near and dear to their heart. You will see that especially in this episode. But just to kind of break it down, our first clip, we really talked about changing the way you think as a coach and how important that is, especially taking the onus off of yourself and placing it on the coachee and or their boss. And hopefully you enjoyed that. In the second clip, we're really going to dive into the importance of really doing the work up front and setting expectations. You'll see and hear a lot of comments from the audience members. They have some great ideas and great technique, and you'll really see how important it is to them, this topic, and how into it they get. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, and certainly we will continue to talk about topics like this in upcoming episodes. If it's a choice between me coaching their supervisor or a peer coaching them, who do you think I'd pick every time and twice on Sunday? Say it louder. Peer. Why? There's a psychology behind it. Why? I just want you to understand that this is a big deal. All right? Same thing for onboarding. As their supervisor, I'm not going to onboard them. I'll be involved in the process. But every single time, I'm going to pick a peer. It's the same thing for coaching. They're much more likely to be vulnerable with them, with a peer. They're much more likely to ask them informal questions, like, is this place weird? Or did you go through something like this? Or I don't know how to do what they're asking me to do. They'll never tell me that. Okay, so something to consider is having a coaching plan. Right, and involving some of the peers. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a peer on their team. In fact, you could find someone in another department who excels in the area that they are struggling in and have them shadow them for a little while. Right? But the psychology is the interesting one. It's the same thing. Again, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they think you're internal affairs. So they're not going to be nearly as vulnerable with you as they would be someone that they work with. And it's also apples to apples, right? That's another person that does pretty much the same job as they do. That's the reason why, as their supervisor, I wouldn't coach them. I'm going to have a peer coach them. Or they would take the lead, is because a lot of people think, oh, he's the boss, he's in the ivory tower, the Crystal Palace, he doesn't know what we go through, which is not true. But obviously they think that. But they're much more likely to be vulnerable, they're much more likely to relate to a peer than they would to me. And it's the same thing for you guys. Agree or disagree? Okay, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to HR. It's not. But you guys are considered internal affairs. All right, and that sucks. I get it. But it's a stigma, and it has to be broken through. And as you know, many of you have broken through that stigma just by how relatable you are and the talent that you bring and the ideas that you give them. But there's still that stigma out there. Have you guys had any success in this type of technique where you really place the onus, the shoulder pads, onto the boss right, and to Jason instead of you.
We have done this recently where we did definitely put a lot more of the onus on the actual supervisors. And we kind of talk about this too, is when you're having that conversation with Jason, the supervisor, not only do we want to know what does success look like, but he or she has to understand after this is done or as this is going forward, they're going to have to be the ones to hold them accountable and figure out how to communicate that accountability.
You guys are very much like me. I don't work with him every day. You do, right? I can't tell you whether or not he's doing a great job. You guys have to determine that, and you have to talk to one another, right? It's same thing for me. I mean, you're a little closer than I am because you work for the same company, but you have no idea. You're not there all the time.
I was once in a position where our board wanted me to do this to my boss and coach them, and so like we talked briefly about here, is if you're going to hire a disinterested third party like you or a professional coach, that's one thing, but if you're going to have somebody internally do it, they have to have absolute immunity.
Right.
Right. This is not going to be a scapegoat situation. This is not something they're going to get in trouble or lose their job or their livelihood. This is, like, you've got to set those terms up front and create a sense of safety for the person you're calling in to help.
Right.
Whether that's HR, whether that's here, or whether that's somebody from another department.
Yep. Absolutely, and it's a great segue into the next topic, because how do you get that immunity? All right. Well, here's the famous birthday cake. People ask me all the time, Glenn, how do you have a conversation, with your boss? I don't know how to. You keep telling me to have a conversation with him or her. I don't know how to. So this was born out of that question in the coaching room. So basically, it's a very simple model. You never, if you can imagine a candle on the top of this birthday cake, the candle is what you want out of a conversation or one out of a coaching session, right? You never go after the candle first. That's the exact wrong way to do it. You build a foundation of agreement first. Once you have agreement, then you get to the next level, then you go after the candle. Now, it's just a 3-layer model. This could be 5 layers. This could be 3 different meetings. But when I am going to meet with Jason, the first thing that I'm going to do is go over the foundation, the ground rules. And this is where, even if you're an internal employee, this will protect you. This provides you that immunity. All right? So literally, I'll say to them, and again, this is me, maybe not you, listen, I'm pretty direct. Okay? I'm going to tell you that it's you. This is a you problem. Right? It's not uncommon for me to look at someone and go, that was an outstanding answer. If you want to run for Miss America, will you please talk to me? Okay? That's not an answer. And I will be very direct. Are you okay with that? Because if you're not okay with someone who's very direct, go find another coach. I'm going to tell you the truth. All right? Now, I'm going to be professional about it, but if I think that you're not giving me all the information or you're making excuses or, and this is the big one, if you don't change your behavior, if I come all the way to Cleveland, which is a long ways away, right, and you tell me, I forgot to do it, I forgot to do the homework, I forgot to talk to my boss, I forgot to do this, I'm going to tell you, please don't waste my time. Your job is behavior change. And if you agree with that, I will coach you. If you agree with my demeanor and you like that kind of thing, because not everybody likes that, right? Not everybody fits my personality. I get it. Okay? But I'm not going to do this unless you prove to me that you're changing behavior. Is that acceptable to you? Right? If he says no, what happens? Nice to meet you. Right? Or go find someone else. If he says yes, then we continue to the next layer and to the next layer. All right? I have asked people in the coaching session the following question. This is a foundation question. What have you done in the last year to change your situation? 95% of the time, what is the answer? Nothing. Now, I'm a wise ass, okay? If you haven't noticed yet. So what do you think my response is? Awesome. You've done nothing in the last year to change your situation, yet you're expecting different results. What is that the definition of, or close to it? That's insanity. That's exactly right. Do something different. Jump up on the table and do the Irish jig. I don't care what you do, but what you're doing now is not working. Okay? Do something different. And if you come back to Cleveland, or if I go all the way up to Cleveland and you tell me I forgot or I didn't have time, right, I'm going to say goodbye. And that's where I'm going to go to your boss and let him or her know they're wasting my time. Now again, I get it. I have a different demeanor. I get it. I do things differently. But the basic construct of coaching, the basic premise behind this is still unbelievably important to make sure that you go over how you communicate, how coaching is going to go, and what expectations are. That will protect you, right? Especially if you let them know what goes on in here stays here. My gift to you is a gift of immunity, right? But you have to hold that to be true, okay? You have to make sure that you are a person of your word, because you are going to be asked several questions along the way. Hey, how's it going? Right? Or give me some idea, and you have to hold strong to that, because as you know, it takes a long time to build trust. And how long does it take to break it? Right? I know that's cliche, but it's true. Right? 2 seconds. One particular, little crack where they think you said something to someone else, and trust will be broken. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that part 2 of our keynote series here. If you are new to the podcast, you know that the name of the podcast is really around the book, Now What?, my brand new book that I put out. It's available on paperback and ebook. It's a great way for those of you who have new employees, who are new to management, or even aspiring managers. It's a great way to get them up to speed, really on a level playing field with their peers. This is the story of me coaching Johnny. Johnny is an amazing mechanic in the airline industry, and because he's such a great mechanic, they made him manager of mechanics. Now what? He doesn't know how to do manager things. So it's a simple read, but it's chock full of tips, tricks, and ideas that will really help your folks. So go ahead and pick it up. Again, it's available on Amazon, and we'll look forward to you guys doing that. Okay, in our next episode, episode 34, which is going to be part 3 of our series, we'll continue. You'll see the third really part of the Advanced Coaching Techniques presentation, where we're really going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, but something that a lot of people try to avoid, and that is resistance in the coaching room. And the necessary part of coaching that really is frustration. They have to get frustrated. It has to get worse before it gets better, and you'll see that in our next episode. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. I wish you all the best in your management and leadership journey, and we'll see you for episode 34.